Oh! Go now. Rest in peace, my friend.
Iconic. The C-47, it's the military version of the DC-3 airliner, which first flew in 1935, and under the Lend-Lease program, nearly 2,000 of these Dakotas, as the aircraft became known, entered into RAF service, where they were delivered to the UK, first entering service with the Royal Air Force in India in 1942. The Dakota eventually equipped 22 Royal Air Force squadrons and 3 Royal Canadian Air Force squadrons under Royal Air Force operational control. The Dakota served in every theatre of war, most notably in Burma and also during the D-Day landings and airborne assaults in Arnhem in 1944. C-47 Dakota 3, Zulu Alpha 947 that we see displaying here today is the last of its type serving with the Royal Air Force. That Dakota was constructed as a C-47A by Douglas in Long Beach in California. That's where I did my pilot's license, in Long Beach, California. They were making the C-17 Globemaster there still. It was initially delivered to the United States Air Force on the 7th of September 1943. A little over a week later, it was transferred to the Royal Canadian Air Force and redesignated as a Dakota 3. During World War II, it served entirely in Canada, and after the war, Dakota 661 operated in support of the Canadian forces in Europe from 65 to 69, with the aircraft declared surplus for clients, and then it was sold to Scottish Aviation at Prestwick, where it was operated on behalf of the Royal Aircraft Establishment. Defence Research Agency, which was the successor to the RAE, decided to dispose of it in 92. The aircraft was adopted by the Royal Air Force and it was to be issued to the Battle of Britain Memorial flight. Now it was taken on charge in 93 and it's now painted in the markings of 31 Squadron Dakota, which operated from India and over Burma in 43 and in 44.
Oh, they've separated.
So we see the 3 ship breaking up, and now we'll get some individual passes. Spitfire leading into Dakota, with the Hurricane holding off in front of us.
Oh, I thought we missed that.
So let's look straight ahead as he rides towards us. Ben Polwin at the controls, Squadron Leader Ben. Again, starting his flying career as an air cadet in West Sussex before completing an RAF flying scholarship. Gained his pilot's license when he was just 18 years old. Joined the Royal Air Force back in 2003 as a direct entry, and after flying multiple missions with 9 Squadron at RAF Marnham, flying the Tornado GR4. Exercises included in Afghanistan and Libya. In 2011, Ben was posted to RAF Valley, where he was an instructor on the Hawk.
The Spitfire. Spitfire, yeah.
2016, he spent 2 years in the United States flying F-18s.
I'll fly.
This Hurricane is famous before it even flew because it was the last ever built. There was 14,533 built, and PZ-865 rolled off the Hawker production line in Langley and Berks in July of '44. It still carries the inscription on her port side, the last of the many. Now, keen to preserve the last Hurricane, Hawkers purchased the aircraft back from the Air Ministry and kept it in storage at Langley. And then in 1950, PZ-865 was entered into the King's Cup air race by His Royal Highness, Her Royal Highness, Princess Margaret. Now, I'm pretty sure we all know Princess Margaret wasn't a famous pilot, but she did know a certain Captain Peter Townsend, CVO, DSO and DFC, and he flew the aircraft and actually achieved second place in it. And here's the thing, Ben is the current champion. So Ben is actually the King's Cup winner for this year, and he's flying the Hurricane that Peter Townsend flew and came second in. So now a very different beast in front of us. It is, of course, the wonderful Spitfire from BBMF. This, as you can see, is a clipped wing version, TE311. Squadron leader Mark Sugden joined the Royal Air Force in 2001. Spitfire Mark 16 was built at Castle Bromwich, and it was what's called a low back bubble canopy with the clipped wing set, taken on charge by the Air Ministry in June of '45. She was delivered to 39 maintenance units, where she was placed into storage, and then from 45 through to 46, she was flown by a Handel Squadron of the Empire Test Flying School at Hallavingdon. After a period in storage, in 1951, she was allocated to the ferry pilot training flight at Ashton Down. And then on to RAF Benson till early '54. In '54, she was officially grounded into what was called non-effective stock, and for the next 12 years, the aircraft was a gate guardian at RAF Tangmere. the aircraft pitches up from the left, return from the right, the Dakota and the Hurricane. And don't forget to visit the BBMF stand, which is again just down here by the front of the Blackpool Pier and just in front of the tower to the right. Very distinctive black, looks like a big black igloo, sort of igloo shape. But all the information that you need about the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight, all of its aircraft, its people, because it is a very, very large team. Obviously, to keep these aircraft flying takes a lot of dedication, specialist engineers, and if you want to know more about the BBMF and the work that they do at RAF Coningsby, pop along and see the guys. Ask for Paris, she knows everything. So for the final time, ladies and gentlemen, let's just listen to the Royal Air Force Battle of Britain Memorial Flight. Opportunity. Get your cameras ready, because they're not just doing one, they're going to go from left to right, then they're going to turn around and come back and do 2 more passes. You can clap again, by the way, you won't sound silly. Looks so much better, does it, when they're nice and tight like that. Makes a great photo. Look at that picture over the pier. If we didn't have a microphone in my hand, I'd have my phone up, clicking away. So then we're going to curve around to the left now, because just so you know, for the rest of the weekend, most of the aircraft are going to take off from Blackpool. They're going to go around the back of Blackpool and hold off to the north, and then they're going to come running in from the right hand side. But also it means that when they depart, they're going to come towards us and then go to the left and go back to Blackpool Airport. So I'm 98% sure this is the last pass as they come in. Oh, it's nice. On the B axis, on the 45, cameras at the ready. Love that sound of those Merlins, cannot get enough of it. So we're going to have a very different sound coming up very shortly. It's, well, as I said, from Blackpool. This aircraft is actually based at Blackpool Airport. John Hurl at the controls. John's going to be back a little bit later on as well in his very own Hawk, as in the Hawk that the Red Arrows have, the Jet Hawk. But for now, we're going to see his Harvard aircraft, and I'm pretty sure he would have taken off already. So I was totally right about them doing the last pass, because that was a pass. Whereas what they're going to do now is an overflight. And an overflight and a pass are two very different things. So I wasn't wrong, okay? So what they're going to do is they're going to come and they're going to fly right over the top of you. The Spitfire and the Hurricane will break, and the Dakota will fly over the top of you. So it's an overflight, not a pass. Oh, there's the picture. The Dakota and the Blackpool Tower with the lift going up. How cool was that? Excellent.